అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. గురుభ్యో నమః. Today is another good day, all of us, that we are going to have another session from Dr. CSR Prabhu garu. Let us start this session with paying our respects to our country by reciting Vande Mataram by Challa Chitti Babu garu. Let us request Challa Chitti Babu garu to recite Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajyosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram Vande Mataram.
వందే మాతరం. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టి బాబు గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నౌ లెట్ us రిక్వెస్ట్ సరళా దేవి గారు టు చాంట్ ప్రార్థన, ప్లీజ్.
1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Omkara. गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभिद्र्यवतु। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गति गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलं स्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः
హరి ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమ. ధన్యవాదములండి సల్లాదేవి గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. నౌ లెట్ us request our Guruji, Dr. CSR Prabhu garu, to start the webinar, please.
Okay, friends, today we will be practicing the asanas which we have already been practicing. Let us start with Shavasana onwards. So we'll start with the Pavanmuktasana. Breathe out and press. I'm sure you all are aware of this already. We talked many times. Utkada Pavanmuktasana. Paschimottanasana, John says. There is one Mahamudra which I will show now in Paschimottanasana itself. So you touch your feet and bend forward. And while bending forward, blow out the air pull the abdomen inside and hold it and keep your eyes on the Bhumadhya, center of the abdomen, without breath. Then slowly breathe in and bring the stomach forward. Hold without breath after pulling in the abdomen, Jnana Bandhan, for a few seconds, as long as it can comfortably, then breathe in and release. This is called Mahamudra. Of course, then we can go for the full swing Paschimottanasana, lying down and getting them. We go for Vajrasana. There are two possibilities: keeping the legs erect here, that is Vajrasana actually, then slightly shifting them to sidewards and making a cushion in Bhadrasana. But both are valid. You can call both as Vajrasana. So if you sit like this, as long as you can hold it, you will be able to overcome all the problems. And this is only asana permitted to be practiced immediately after meals also. You can sit like this immediately after meal without bending forward. For 10 minutes, your digestion will be very fast. Because it's the only position where this abdomen is kept erect. If you sit on chair, it will be slightly bending, or in other positions also it will be bending, but here it will be erect. So stable erect 10 minutes after meals, which means the gas will go down, digestion will be accelerated in the stomach. And after 10 minutes of sitting like this immediately after meals, you can go and do any other work. And whole day also, you can sit in Vajrasana anytime. You can watch TV in Vajrasana, you can talk to people on Vajrasana, or read on Vajrasana. Whatever, you just make a habit to sit on Vajrasana. Your body will become Vajrasamana. So Vajrangi, Vajranga Bali means what? Vajrangi means Vajrangi. Vajra Samana Angam, that is body, organs. So on Vajrasana, you can sit whole day. If you can sit for half an hour per day, morning, evening, or total 1 hour or 2 hours, 3 hours, then you can see the difference. Your body pains, your knee pains, your back pain, and your indigestion, and your gas, everything goes one way. And you will be very fit. Shariradhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. If you are having a fit body, you can do a lot of things. Otherwise, you end up with doctors and medicines. They are at the mercy of doctors, medicines, and then hospitals. And those who go to hospitals, some of them will not come back alive. So please try to avoid that situation. Don't get into the hands of hospitals and medicines and doctors. So yoga is the best way to maintain your perfect health. Of course, diet is also very important. Your attitude, emotions are also. Vajrasana, Shashankasana, bending forward and touching head to the ground while keeping his hands back, holding hands. Then Supta Vajrasana, lying down back. Touch the head to the ground, knees, elbows on the ground. Normal breathing after reaching ground. Till then, breathe in and go back. Of course, on Vajrasana, we have Gomukhasana, Adha Matsyendrasana and Ushtrasana. I'm skipping them and I'm going to Padmasana. And in Padmasana, once again, bending forward and backward. Bending forward with your hands behind the feet, behind the heels, will make the strong impact. Second alternative is to keep your hands at the back. There is one Padma Mayurasana. On Padmasana, you can do Mayurasana. Go to Shavasana. Go for this. Navi Chakra Shuddhi. Uttanasana, Dhanurasana, Chakra. A series of 4 asanas. Navi Chakra Shuddhi. Dhanurasana. So before Dhanurasana, I get 41. Naukasana also. Lifting legs and hands something. Abhrasana. Chakrasana.
గురువు గారి ఆసనంపై సరిగ్గా వినపడలేదు, ఒక్కసారి చెప్పండి.
Again, you do Matsasana once. There is a fourth in Navachakra Shuddhi. Now we'll go for the standard Mayura Sarvanga Sarva Bhujanga. I will once again do regular Mayurasana. What we have shown today is the Padma Mayurasana I showed you. Normal Mayurasana is this. I'll show you one Viparita Karani, which is similar to Sarvangasana but different. You have to bend the legs towards the ground instead of keeping them erect. The rest is all same as Sarvangasana. In Sarvangasana, we are keeping the legs straight, L shape, but in Viparita Karani, it will be slanting at an angle, but you can hold the body with your hands for a few minutes or seconds, as long as you can hold the body in this angle. That is called Viparita Karani. If you do for 6 months regularly, you will become younger. Now I go for Sarvangasana. Sarvangasana. Again, Matsyasana. Chaturanga, Bhujangasana. Tapasana. The exhaust fan. Please put the exhaust. The exhaust fan. In exhaust fan, let me. Finally, we'll do Shirshasana. So regular practice of asanas will ensure 100% perfect health. All diseases can be prevented and even cured, along with diet restrictions. Not too much restriction, only. Okay, we finished Shavastam and come back to Pranayama. Go to Padmasana and Pranayama. Nadi Shotan Pranayama left to right back. I've shown you already the three bandhas: Jalandhar Bandha, Udyad Bandha, and Moolavar. Jalandhar Bandha is neck pressed to the chest while holding the breath, either external holding or internal holding. You can breathe in and hold it. Like you take breath and hold. Close your eyes always. This is Jalandhar Bandha. Or you can breathe out and hold. Next is Udyana Bandha, which is breathing out and pulling the abdomen inside and holding. There is only one way, that is to breathe out. If you pull the abdomen inside after breathing in, your heart will beat. You have to breathe out and pull the abdomen inside. Concentrate on the navel and hold without breath. Then we have Mola Bandha, where you pull the Moladhara upwards, rectum upwards, and hold the breath. Breathe in and hold the breath, and pulling the Moladhara upwards. And all the three together, Mola Bandha, Udyana Bandha, and Jalandhar Bandha, all three together, jointly, simultaneously, that will become Mahabandha. Breathe out, pull the Moladhara upside, pull the abdomen inside, and press it into the chest. Close the eyes and hold without breath for a few seconds. Then slowly release each one of the three in the same order. This is ultimate, powerful Mahabandha. You can do it at the end of Omkaram also. Because Ma referring to upper, middle, and lower lungs. Is relating to abdomen, that is lower lungs. So after finishing Om, pull all the three inside and hold in Mahabandha. Then release it and again take deep breath. Just I'll show you now again. Let us do Om once. Om. Om. So now we'll do normal Om without Mahabharata again. Om. 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 Okay, now I want to share a very important experience we had in that conference. I sent you the Saparikara Advaita Siddhanta Sabha. The Parikaras of Advaita means Nyaya, Mimamsa, Vyakarana. They were all discussed in deep research level presentations by best scholars in those subjects from all over India. This was organized by the Sringeri Shankar Math in Sringeri at Hyderabad in Yapral in one temple, which is under their jurisdiction. I have shared the photographs and the program is in there. The highlight of the program is that it is initiated by the Shankar Math of Sringeri, and this coordinator of this program was none other than the father of present Shankaracharya Uttaradhikari Vidushekhara Bharati. So this Sri Brahmasri Kupa Shiva Subramanya Shastri Garu is the head of the Veda Pathshala at Tirumala, was the head of the Veda Pathshala at Tirumala. And his father, Sri Ram Gopal Somayaji Garu, is there. That is the grandfather of Vidushekhara. And the eldest brother of Sri Ram Gopala Somayaji was Uppa Venkata Charapati Somayaji, from whom I have learned, or I had the privilege, fortune of learning Vedic chanting, Purusha Sukta, etc. For quite some time, he was staying in Ashok Nagar, the Satyanarayana Swami temple. He was an Icha Agnihotri, had 3 Agnihotras with him all through his life. And he performed all yajnas. He was Somayaji because he performed Somayaga. And he performed Chayanam. I went to that Chayanam also. In Anantavaram, next to Kollur village, in which the Bhagavatula family of Kollur is my mother's side. My mother's grandfather was a very big Vedic scholar. He ran a Veda Pathshala, which is still there. In Kollur village, which is neighbor of it is Vemur village. My grandmother belonged to Vemur village in Puruganti family. My father belonged to Chukula family, Bharadwaja Gopram. I was born in Tenali myself. So the Kuppa family and the Bhagavatula family are related to each other. So I'm related to the present Shankaracharya and his Purvashrama in 2-3 different ways, from my mother's side and also from my daughter-in-law's side. In this conference, I just went as a visitor without any plan, because this notification was sent to me by one of our participants in this course, Kameshwar Rao Garu in San Francisco. So I just went as an Agantuka. And then I was recognized by some people there who were already there. I was introduced to the chairman of the conference, who is Vishwanatha Gopal Krishnamurti of Rajahmundry, who seems to be the topmost #1 scholar. From his lectures and the way he talks is amazing. He has tremendous knowledge. So I had the opportunity to give a lecture. They originally asked me to speak on science and Vedas, but then at the last minute, somebody told me you speak on Sanatana Dharma's greatness. So I switched over to Dharma Yoga. I discussed about the problems today in the society, the crisis in the world, like environmental crisis, war, terrorism, and also the social crisis, corruption, drugs, guns, financial crisis, all these crises, whose original cause is adharma. So the solution lies in the opposite of adharma, which is dharma. So how to replace the adharma lakshanas with dharma lakshanas? What are adharma components? Ahankara, mamkara, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya are the components of adharma. And the opposite of adharma is dharma, which is titikshama, adama, shaucham, hasteyo, indriya, nigraha, dhir, vidya, satyam, akrodho, dashakam, dharma, lakshana. These 10 principles: dhruti, kshama, dama, shaucham, hasteyam, indriya, nigraham, dhir, vidya, satyam, akrodha, dashakam, dharma, lakshana. And then we have the yamaniyamas: satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, asteya, aparigraha, shaucha, santosha, tapaswadhyaya, iswara pranidhana. Then we have the Devi Sampat, Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Dhanam, Damascha, Yajnascha, Swadhyaya, Tapat, Arjavam, Ahimsa, Satyam, Krodha, Tyaga, Kshanti, Rapaisham, Daya, Alolupam, Mardavam, Dri, Rachapara, Teja, Kshama, Dhiti, Shaucham, Adroho, Abhimanita. So this is 26 of Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, are inclusive of the 10 Yamaniyamas and 10 Dharma Lakshanas of Manu. Mostly, if not completely, and added some more things. That's how we have 26. So in my Dharma Yoga framework, I'm maintaining a position that if these 26 or at least 18 of them, that is all the Yamaniyamas, and additionally we have the Daya, Karuna, Seva, and so on and so forth. So we have identified 18 values, ethical values, and we have done a research in finding out whether these 18 values are upheld, ordained, and kind of promoted in other religious scriptures as well. So we have in fact co-authors from various other religions, including Buddhist, Jain, Christian, Islamic, Sikh. So with all these scholars involved, these 18 ethical values, dharma as I call it, whether they are present in all the other scriptures of other religions, notwithstanding what else is present in those scriptures. it may be objectionable, but at least if this are present or not. So we have found over a period of 6 years, after about 25 meetings, that yes, all the 18 are present in the ordainments, instructions, the scriptures, not people. People can be erroneous, but scripture is fixed. So all the 18 were located, and we made a big table with 18 on 18 rows and about 5 columns. And first column for Hindu scripture, second for Bible, third for Quran, and fourth for Buddha Sutras, fifth for Jain Sutras, sixth, like this. A big matrix. We have identified the references where, say, Satya is ordained, or Daya is ordained, or Seva is ordained, or honesty is ordained, in various scriptures of various religions. And we have given the cross reference that where they are ordained. And the next chapters, each scripture said in Quran where all these 18 are elaborated. Where is kindness? Where is compassion? Where is ahimsa? And so on. Similarly in Bible where they are there. And similarly in Buddha Sutras and Jaina Sutras and so on. So those concerned experts have written those chapters, who have doctorates in those subjects. They were professors in faculty of the institutions and universities, otherwise also in the open domain. And this book is called Dharma Yoga, a common framework for all religions. And of course science, because these are ethical principles. Dharma is a set of principles of sustainability. And even the atheists like DK, DMK, Communist, Marxist, CPI, ML, all these people, they will also accept the values, ethical values. That is well known. They say that they are fighting for the ethical values only. If you ask any Naxalite who says, I'm fighting for welfare of people, I'm fighting for service, I'm fighting for the economic development. So, notwithstanding the other part of their ideologies, which is not acceptable, this part is universally accepted. So, Dharma Yoga is the common framework for all religions and ideologies and even science. Science is atheistic, basically. And Buddhism, Jainism are also atheist. But they uphold Dharma in a big way. And yoga also is upheld. Yoga in the physical sense, like what we have done today, is physical, Hatha Yoga, which is upheld and accepted across religions and across ideologies. Even atheists want to have good health. And so in Islam also, Vajrasana is there. In the Namaz, there are asana postures. And Bhakti Yoga is there very much in the Bible and in Quran also, apart from Guru Granth Sahib. There is no Bhakti Yoga in Buddhist Jain original ideology, but in Mahayana, where Buddha himself is worshipped as God, Bhakti Yoga comes back. And in Vajrayana also, Tara Devi Vasana is there. So the Tantra went into Vajrayana Buddhism. And Dharma is at the core. So this common framework of mutually acceptable common minimum framework was built by me, and for which I was given conferred a doctorate of divinity degree in 2018. So since then, I have been having many meetings and discussions belonging to various other scholars of other religions. Yesterday, day before yesterday, this conference also, when I presented this, the chief of the conference, Vishwanatha Gopal Krishnamurti of Rajahmundry, he came to this stage and declared that it is acceptable, Dharma Sammatam, Shastra Sammatam. And he even went to the extent of making a statement that whatever features in other scriptures of other religions are inconsistent with the Veda, with the Sanatana Dharma, will be acceptable. This is the official declaration. in this top conference of Sringeri Shankarmat by the topmost scholar of the country and world, along with all other scholars sitting there and public meeting. This is a great achievement because to whatever extent it is, like if somebody is saying don't tell lies or don't cheat or don't steal, don't hurt, even if it is in Bible or in Quran or in Buddha Sutras or Jain Sutras, that is acceptable because that is dharma. And similarly, if somebody is saying you love your neighbor, you love your God, or you love your country, and or similarly, if you say that you serve the society, whosoever says it, that will be accepted. That's what even the top pundit declared, notwithstanding the variations and objectionable things in the rest of the scripture of that religion, which is a very serious matter. I'm not denying that. I'm not glossing over it or I'm not skipping it. This is only an attempt to find some kind of common point of convergence across so divergent religious positions. Now, in the world, we know almost all the conflicts are based on religion. Surprising thing is, they are emphasizing on the differences and they're resulting in wars. But why can't they identify the common factors and therefore find the common ground? So now, in this book, we have proved that there are a lot of common factors, dharma and yoga. Dharma yoga is the common framework. So the next question that arises is, why this common framework is identifiable? Why is it present? Why is the commonism? You give me an answer. You think about it. Why is this commonness? We'll discuss it during the session. So now I'll go for the text. So we have covered the asanas chapter. Now there is a pranayama chapter. Adhasane dridhe yogi vasi hitamitasanaha gurupadishta margena pranayama samabhyastu. Adha, now asane dridhe, in dridha asana, yogi, having already performed, practiced all other asanas. Vasi, having control of himself. Hita mita asana. That's a very important point he has written. Hita book, mita book. Please note this. All our diseases are coming only from what we eat. Tena neriste, rogan le. Matlat neriste, potlat le. If you know how to eat, if you know the science of art of eating, then you will never fall sick. And if you know the science and art of speaking, you will never have a quarrel or fight. Tina neriste rogan ledu, matlat neriste potlat ledu. Atha asane dridhe yogi, vasi, hita mita asanaha. Hita means what is good for you, you must have experimented in your life, what is suitable for you. I found that if I eat khichdi, dal khichdi with cow ghee, it keeps my stomach safe. Or if I eat curd rice, it keeps my stomach safe. And nights you cannot eat curd rice, you can eat in daytime, not in nights. Nights you can eat khichdi or chapati or anything, but less spicy or no spice. Spice means again the pepper is very good for health, but mirchi is not good. So what is hitam you should know, and that too you should eat limited, mitas. Just because you like it, you cannot eat a lot and then suffer a lot because you cannot digest. Vashi hitamitasana. Vashi is in full control of himself and he is eating the right food in a small quantity. Mita, mitahari, hitamitashana. Guru padishtamargena. While doing so, that means the diet control is extremely compulsory and asana practice. So whosoever practices asanas and of course kriyas and practices the diet controlled diet will be guaranteed to be healthy and live for 100 years. So if you can do this, that is you have to practice asanas and you have to control your diet with eating only what is suitable to you, hitam, and in a less quantity, mitam, which you can digest easily. And in addition, if you perform Sandhya Vandana, which is acting on the soul, your Hatha Yoga and Sandhya Vandana daily, then your life is made. My own life is an example. And so many of our yoga practitioners, and millions are there throughout the globe. Our gurus are there who have practiced yoga for a long time. And they lived for 100 years or more. There are people in Japan who lived 120 years. Atha asane dridhe yogi vasi hita mitasanaha guru padishtamargena. Guru becomes a very important person. Everything is as per the guru. Whatever guru teaches, you have to practice. If he teaches wrongly, you are finished. If he teaches right, you are saved. Pranayama samarjase. So then next step is prana. Practice pranayama. What is the purpose of pranayama? Pranayama prayojanam. Chale vate chale chittam. Nischale nischalam bhavet. Yogi sthayitvam apnoti. Tato vayum nirodhye. Which means chale vate. When the breathing is moving, that means in whatever way it moves, harmoniously, disharmoniously, rapidly, disturbedly, or healthily, accordingly the mind will be functioning. Chale vate chalem chittam. Nischale nischalam bhave. If you have stopped your breath, mind is also stopped. The mind can be stopped in two ways, either through breath control or through dhyana, japa, meditation. Both ways it is possible. Both are related to each other, they are complementary to each other. That's why pranayama is there in every Sandhya Vandanam and every Vratam also. In the Sankalpa itself, pranayama is there. You remember? Om Bhur. You know, the priest will say, catch your nose. Of course, some smart people will catch the nose of the priest instead of their own nose. But catch your nose and then take deep breath. Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Suha, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tapa, Om Satyam, Om Tat Saviturvarenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya, Om Apo Jyotiraso Amritam Brahma, Bhurbhuva Suvaro. This whole thing is one breath. This is what they are asking you to do pranayama before, in the Sandhya Vandanam itself, or before Satyanarayana Katha or any other puja, vrat, anything. The first thing is pranayama. So chale vate chale chittam, nischale nischalam bhave. If the vata is nischala, it is in kumbhaka control, then mind is also. Yogi sthanatvam apnoti, tato vayug nirodhaye. You enter into samadhi. That much is the power of pranayama. Yavad vayu sthite dehe tavat jivanam uchyate. We all know very well, as long as your breathing is on, you are supposed to be alive. The moment your breathing stops, maranam tasya nishkrantihi tato vayum nirodhe. What is death? Death is nothing but the exit of vayu, pranavayu. Therefore, hold the pranavayu, he is telling. Because as long as you hold the pranavayu, you are alive. Malakula sunadishu maruto naiva madhyagaha katham syad unmani bhava karyasiddhi katham bhavet. Now, for that, yavad vayu sthite dehe tavad jivanam uchyate maranam tasya nishkrantihi tato vayum nirodhe. Then he is talking about the malashuddhi. Body has a lot of impurities, and unless you cure or remove all the impurities, you cannot practice pranayama, which is not possible at all, because they do not allow. Malakula sunadishu, malakula sunadishu. That means the malas, the impurities in the nadis. What are nadis? Nadis are nothing but channels of pranic flow. They are not nerves. Nerves are different. Nerves are the wiring in the nervous system. The pranic body is not physical. Physical is only the physical body. Anatma, anatomy is anatma. But the pranic body is different. It is having pranic channels, 72,000 channels, starting from the navel. Navel is the origin of the 72,000 nadis, which are going away from the nabhi into the whole body. That is why in Vastrika Pranayama, we are moving the nabhi up and down to activate the nadi network. Valayam, nadi valayam, 72,000 nadis are spread throughout the body. There are channels of prana, and their junctions are known as chakras. There are many chakras because there are many junctions, like a railway network. But the main junctions are only 6 chakras, major junctions. So these nadis are carrying the prana, and if they are blocked, if there is blockage, impurities, then prana will not. Therefore, you have to purify the malakula sunadishu maruto naiva madhyagaha katham syad unmani bhavaha karya siddhi katham. How can you get samadhi? Unmanyavastha is samadhi. How can you get it? How can you get success if these malas are there? Shuddhimeti yada sarvam nadi chakram malakulam tadaiva jayate yogi prana sangrahane kshamaha. Only after purifying all the nadis, as and when it gets purified, only then the yogi, yogabhyasi, will be able to control the prana in them. In fact, there is a statement elsewhere. Shatkarma nirgata sthaulya kapato shamaladika pranayamam tatak kuryat sanayasena labhyate. So by the Shatkarma practices, Yanga Prakshalana, Gajakarni, Jalaneti, the malas, the gross form only will be removed. Sthaulya. And then perform pranayama, then you will get success. That is the statement for the Shatkriyas, the cleaning process. Now he's Shuddhimeti yada sarvam nadi chakram malakulam tadaiva jayate yogi prana sangrahane kshamaha. He'll have the capacity to hold the prana only when the nadis are purified. Pranayamam tatak kuryat nityam satvikaya priya dhiya. With a sattvic state of mind, regularly practice pranayama. Pranayama itself purifies the nadis. Yadha sushumna nadistha mala shuddhim prayanti cha. So, Sushumna Nadi will also have malas, so that has to be purified. So, regular pranayama practice, Nadi Shodhana pranayama, Ida Pingala, we are using in our pranayama, not Sushumna. Sushumna is not open to all, it is closed in most. If it opens, then Kundalini will awaken. Paddha Padmasano Yogi Pranam Chandrayana Purayet. Breathe in through the left. Chandra means left. Ha. Ha, tha. Ha is Chandra, tha is Surya, ha is left. Dharayitva yatha shakti. Hold the breath as long as you can comfortably. Huya Suryena rechayet. Then breathe out through the right nostril, which is Surya. Slowly. There are many ratios in this. I told you once already, various ratios. Pranam, but the basic process is Pranam Suryena Chakripya Purayet Udaram Shana. Again, breathe in through the right and hold, and then breathe out through the left. Vidhivat Stambhakam Krutva Punas Chandrayana rechayet. येन त्यजेत् तेन पीत्वा धारयेत् अतिधिरोतः रचयेत् च ततो अन्येन शनेनैव न वेगतः. So, left to right, right to left, not very fast, but slowly. This is the Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. There are many ratios. Initially, we are doing only 1:1. But later on, after you cross 1:1, you can go for 1:2, 1:4. Then you can add the Kumbhaka 1:1:1, 1:2:1, 1:4:2. These are all various sadhanas in the various stages. Everybody cannot practice everything. And online, we cannot teach such complicated things. Pranam ched idaya pibed. Niyamitam bhuyo anyaya rechayet. Pitva pingalaya samirana madhu badva tvajed. Vamaya surya chandra masoranena vidhina. Abhyasam sada tadvatam. Shuddha nadi gana bhavanti. Yaminam masatraya dusata. 3 months of regular practice. The pranayama will purify your nadi system. What is the time? Pranayama has a kala nirnaya. Pratar achandine sayam ardharatri kumbhakan. Of course, he is telling 4 times. Morning, afternoon, evening, and midnight, which is very difficult. So we will reduce to 2, morning and evening. Shanai Rashiti Paryantam Chaturvadam Samabhi. 80 times he is saying. 80 is very high for us. Kaniyasi Bhavet Svedaha. Now, I am not going to explain you the complex stages of pranayama in an online course because I don't even see you. I don't know where you are and what you are and who you are. So, if you are interested in advanced pranayama practices, and if you are already practicing pranayama right from our level 1 and level 2, then you can meet me in person for personal guidance for next stages of pranayama, advanced stages. Otherwise, just remain where you are. Don't meet me. So, what are the symptoms of stages in advanced pranayama? I have gone through this from my guru. First is Dikshitar Surya Raghava Dikshitar, then Swami Silananda Bharti. Silananda Bharti was really the topmost in higher yoga. He is from the Bade Dhuniwala. Kaniyasi bhavet svetaha kampo bhavati madhyame uttame sthamapnoti tato vayum nibaddhayet. So in the first stage of development of symptoms of pranayama, there will be lot of sweat. I used to get a huge amount of sweat in my body. Whenever I sit, my surroundings were becoming wet. And the second stage, this kampo bhavati madhyame. There will be vibrations in different chakras, like on the neck, like this, or on the other chakras, there will be vibrations, harmonic oscillations automatically coming. You can't do on your own. The third stage will be elevating, will be going above the ground, utthanam. But also I have experienced to a limited extent, few inches, but I saw one my senior who went more than 1 foot into the air, and of course we come down. he comes down fast, then he was sitting on an iron cord and the iron cord broke. It is a kind of and also the Brahmarandhra entry of the prana. Jalayena sramajatena gatramardhanam. What will you do when you get sweat? You rub it on your own body, he says. Dradhata laghuta chevatena gatrasya jayate. The body will become strong and light. Abhyasakale pradhamam shastam kshirajya bhojanam. Cow milk rice, kshirajya, that is Paramanam, is the best in the pranayama abhyasis. These are serious abhyasis is talking about. Tato abhyase dridhibhute nata drid niyama graha. So in the initial stages, kshirannam is the best, he says. Later on, of course, that things can also be eaten. So now certain important statements about pranayama. Yadha simho gajo vyagro bhaved vasya shanai shanai. You know, in the circus, we might have seen the lions and elephants and the tigers. They become controlled, they become totally controlled by the concerned expert. The same way, by gradual pranayama practice, the pranayama practitioner will be able to take control over the prana. So what is the benefit of such pranayama? Pranayamadi yuktena. Pranayama and other things like asanas and all prayers practice, correct practice, yukta, correct practice of that will result in sarva roga kshayo bhave. All diseases are cured. I don't have any disease. We have cured all diseases, including cancer, for those who practice yoga, all aspects, kriyas, asanas, pranayama, meditation. Ayukta abhyasa yogena sarva yoga samudbhavaha, sarva roga samudbhavaha. If you do wrongly anything, then you will get new diseases. It's very dangerous. What are those new diseases? What are the symptoms of new diseases which you will get when you do wrongly? Hiccups, shvasascha, asthma type, kasascha, cough, shirah karyaksha vedana, pain and burning sensation in the head, in the eyes, and in the ears. Bhavanti vividha roga, and then different various types of new diseases. Pavanasya prakopataha, by the prakopa, the reaction of prana in your body. In fact, from the other side, we can say all diseases are nothing but the prakopa of prana. So by calming down the prana and bringing it to perfect shape, all diseases are automatically overcome. Vayu prakopa nivrityupayam. Yuktam yukyam chaded vayum. Yuktam yuktam chapurayet. So to avoid all such complications, it is a slow process under the teacher's guidance. Yuktam yuktam chapadhiya evam siddhim avapya. Yukta. Yuktahara viharascha yukta cheshtascha karmasu. Yukta swapna bhodascha. Yada tu nadi shuddhi syat tadha chinnhani bhakyataha. So once the nadis are purified, you will see the symptoms outside. Kayasya krishata. Thin body. Kantihi, radiance. Tada jayeta nischitam. Yadheshtadharanam vayor analasya pradipanam. Nadabhivyaktir arogyam. Diseaselessness. Vadabhivyaktihi, nadabhivyakti, good voice, good sound, without mic also. Nadi shodhanat. Yadheshtadharanam. He will be able to hold the breath as long as he wants. Meda sleshmadika purvam shatkarmani samacharet. Shatkarmas have to be practiced before pranayama. He made it very clear. Anyastu nacharet tani doshanam samabhavataha. Otherwise, A person who doesn't have any problems, he need not practice all the shortcuts. He can directly go into asanas and pranayama. But people usually have. What are those problems? Meda, Sleshma, Adhikaha. That is fatness and cough and phlegm. Slash. What are the shatkarmas? Dhautis, Bastit, Tadha, Netis, Tratakam, Naulikam, Tadha, Kapalabhatis, Chetani, Shatkarmani, Prachakshati. Kapalabhati is a karma. It is not a pranayama. Astriga is a pranayama. Dhauti, Basti, Neti, Tratakam, Nauli. Karma Shatkamidam Gopyam. This is secret. Secret means it is very delicate and therefore it is not publicly shown. Gopyam, Ghata Shodhana Karakam. Purify the body. Vichitra Gunasandhai, Pujyate, Yogi Pungavai. This, all the Shatkarmas are worshipped. Pujyate Yogi Punga. When I went to Los Angeles, when I told about Sangha Prakshana, the local yoga teachers, the best yoga teachers in Los Angeles, who are Americans, they said, I'll come to your house now, I'll sleep in your house tomorrow morning and make Sangha Prakshana. But they don't know how. So Dhauti Karma is explained. Chaturangala, of course, Vastra Dhauti. When cloth is swallowed and brought, nowadays nobody is doing it. There were serious complications. One person got operated. Chaturangala Vistaram Hasta Panchadashaitam Guru Padishtamargena. So teacher has to be responsible. Siktam Vastram Shavaidhare Puna Prachahare Cheta Dilitam Dhauti Karma Tat. So they swallow the cloth, long cloth, 4 inches width. Then they pull it out in a particular technique is there. If you cannot follow that, then the cloth will stuck in the stomach. They have to do cut and through surgery they have to remove that cloth. So nowadays it's very risky, so nobody is doing. Dhauti karma phalam. Kasa, shvasa, pliha, kushtha. All possible diseases. Kasa, shvasa, pliha, kushtha. Kapharogams cha vimshati. 20 types of phlegm-based diseases. Kushtha. Kushtarogam. Asthma. Dhauti karma prabhavena prayantyevana samshaya. Well, this is Vastra Dhauti, but we do Jala Dhauti, which is Gajakarmi, which is a simple form, and it will have similar effects. They are not 100% same effects. Then Basti Karma. Nabhidagna Jale Payo Yastanal Kota Asanaha Adhara Kunchanam Kuryat Shalanam Basti Karma. So they suck the air through the rectum. I'm sorry, water through the rectum. That also is difficult. Nowadays, nobody is doing. So it is called Basti in Ayurveda Panchakarma. They will do this. Gulma Pliha Udaram Chapi Vata Pitta Kafodbhava Basti Karma Prabhavena Kshiyante Sakalamaya. All diseases are. Tapvindriyantakarana Prasadam Dadyachaka Kantim Dadhana Pradiptam Asesha Doshopachayam Vihanya Abhyastamana Jalabasti Karma. And Neti Sutram Vishastham Nasanale Praveshayet Mukhar Nirgamayet Jesha Neti. We have a thread. I also practice. Put in one nose. It will come out from mouth. Put another in. Come out. Tie them both and pull out and it will clean the. That's why I don't have specs. Neti karma phalam. Apala shodhini chaiva. Divya drishti pradayini. That is sutra neti, but jala neti is what we are doing. Dugdha neti is also there. And ghata neti is also there. Jaturdhvajata rogo kham. All the ENT problems are cured. Neti rashu nihanticha. Pratakam. Nirikshe Nischala Drisha Sukshma Laksham Samah. Keep one dot on the wall and keep looking at it without closing the eyes. Similarly, keep a jyoti and keep looking at it without closing the eyes until the eyes start watering. And then you go to sleep after that in the night. That is called Tratakam. Mochanam Netra Roganam Tandradinam Kapatakam. Yatnatas Tratakam Goptim Yatha Hataka Petakam. It is secret. It will cure all the eye diseases. That's one of the reasons I don't have spectacles. Nauli, I've shown you Nauli. Amanda Vartavegena, Tundam Sanyasanya, Savyapasavataha, Satamso, Brahmaye Desho, Nauli Siddhain Prachikshan. The pressing of the muscles above the knee, resulting in a column in the abdomen, which can move left and right, Vamanavali, Dakshinavali. It is in Suprayam. Nauli Karma Phalam, Mandagni Sandipana Pachanadi, Sandhapika Anandakari Sadeva, Asesha Doshamaya Soshinicha, Atakriya Mauliriyam Cha Naulihi, Kapalbhati Lakshanam, Astraval Lohakarasya Rechapuro Sasambramau, Kapalabhatir Vikhyata, Kafadosha Visod. So, same thing as Bastrika. As I told you, the only difference is in Kapalbhati, you release the stomach after going inside, it will come forward automatically. Whereas in Bastrika, you consciously push it forward. Otherwise, going back and back is same for both. Breathing out, pull the abdomen inside. Shatkarma nirgata sthaulya kafadosha maladika. Pranayamam tatak kuryat anayasen labhyate. So this is the benefit of the Shatkarmas. So I'll stop here and we'll go for the Pradhana, after which you can ask me any questions if you have.
Thank you. Babu garu.
Okay. Thank you so much, Guru Garu, for briefing us about the function we had in April. Thank you so much. And let us go for Pradhana now. Sarla Devi ji.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधना सधना सन्तु जीवन्तु सरदां शतम् ॐ सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रमदः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरि ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः
Thank you so much, Sarla Devi ji. Now let's go for Janganamana.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे जय हे Okay, now people, you can ask questions. Raise your hand and ask questions.
And also answer my question.
Yeah, what was your question?
You forgot.
Yeah.
And the point in time. Only those who remember will answer it.
Okay. Anyway,
The question was, why the commonality is there across scriptures of different religions?
okay.
Dharma and yoga, why they are common?
Oh. Right. So if anyone, I think Sudhir Patarji is the person who can answer this question. Sudhir Patarji, you are there?
He is not there. Yeah.
Okay, I think he is not there. Anyone other than this, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask. Yeah, Amar Singh ji.
Shubhodayam Guruji. My doubt was regarding yoga only. In the Patanjali Yoga Darshan, he said Yam Niyam Asana Prasak Dhyana Dhyan Samadhi. So there is only one way to read the Samadhi. Recently we have discussed regarding Samadhi stage. So one stage what I could understand is from Patanjali Yoga Darshan. And other, how do we practice it and how we can achieve that?
Yeah, that is the way Samadhi is defined only in Yoga Darshana. The word Samadhi is technically explained in the Yoga Darshana, in Yoga Sutras only. Whereas in Bhagavad Gita or in other books, which are Bhagavad Gita is also Yoga Shastra. So the common meaning of Samadhi means the burial. That's not what it means here. Another meaning is Samadhi, being equanimous. So technically, the Yoga Darshana, Yoga Shastras, whether it is Patanjali Yoga Sutras or Hatha Yoga Pradipika, or there are more than 25 different yoga texts, 20 yoga Upanishads are there, and then many other texts like Shiva Samhita, Gheranda Samhita. All these are yoga texts. So in the yoga field, yoga domain, Samadhi is one and the same, and it is explained in a very technical manner through pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, jhana. You get Samadhi. Samadhi is deep dhyana, absorption. So outside that, you see, the Bhakti Yoga is also people get Samadhi. And in the extreme ecstasy of Bhakti, Bhakti Vedanta, that is the ISKCON, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is also a type of Samadhi. In that yoga, Bhakti Yoga. This is Hatha Yoga, Raj Yoga. That is Bhakti Yoga. And Jnana Yoga, of course, it is related to Raj Yoga. Related but independent. There are also Samadhi is there, absorption. So, any other questions?
Yeah, Sharma ji.
Sir,
Just
yes,
a
sir.
minute, Amar Singh ji, just a minute. Sharma ji has to leave. So ask him.
Yeah.
Sharma ji.
Namaskar, Guruji.
Namaskar.
I just want to react to your question. Why do we have so many common principles in all the religions? I
Yes.
think that all the other religions have been influenced by the Sanatan Dharma in one way or the other because of the Puratan and Sanatan nature. uh, the influence can be, and I'm sure you have in your study traced that influence to other religions also. Secondly, the very principles are sanatan, timeless. They were there, they are there, they will remain forever. So these basic things cannot be ignored by any religion worth the name. They cannot afford to ignore these things and say that we are a religion. So this is my view.
Yeah, well, that's very valid. What you say is 100% correct, but there is more to it. Let me add that. I asked that question
Sir.
not because I didn't know the answer, but I wanted you to
Sir,
give the
sir,
answer. Yeah.
sir.
The next question, even accepting what you said, the next question that arises is, how come there is that commonality? Of course, you can say eternal principles, you can say they are influenced, but that is very vague statement. Influence means what? What kind of influence? How and when? So actually, if you dig up the history, there is a sequence. these scriptures, they didn't come suddenly into existence all simultaneously. So today we have, say, half a dozen religious scriptures, Gita, Bible, Quran, and Guru Granth Sahib, and Buddha Sutras, Jaina Sutras. We have, say, all the Anjandavast. Today they're all there simultaneously, but in time sequence they were not there simultaneously. Do you realize this? There was no Bible before 350 AD, and there was no Quran before 900 AD. So, you go back in time, the oldest, as you rightly said, is our Sanatana Dharma, because Rigveda is the accepted universally as the oldest scripture of the human civilization. Correct? So, after Rigveda, the Yajurveda, the Samveda, the Ayurveda, and the Upanishads, they all came in sequence of time. See, there was no Upanishad when Rigveda came. Upanishad came later. So, again, there was no Bhagavad Gita when Upanishads were there. So, Bhagavad Gita came later. By it itself declares that it is a summary of the Upanishads. There is a Gita Mahatyam shloka, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Yuddham Gita Amritam. This is a derivative of Upanishads. And what about Upanishads? Upanishads are derivative of Rigveda. And so the other scriptures of other religions are derivative of their previous scriptures. This is the most important point. So the Quran is a derivative from Bible. And Bible is a derivative from Buddha Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. Buddha Sutras are derivative from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a derivative from Upanishads. And Upanishads are derived from the Veda. And Vedas are finally from the Rigveda. So finally the Rigveda is the original source. Even in normal knowledge, other subjects also, the same thing happens. Everybody cannot write 100% original book. They derive from the previous books or previous papers. Even when a paper is written, you have to refer to all the previous papers and write. Even when you write a book, you have to refer to other books and write. So this is a continuous process of knowledge diffusion or even knowledge transfer that has been happening. That is why the commonality is. Correct?
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
So I just want to add my perspective.
Yeah.
Is that one thing is true that Sanatana Dharma is the oldest. Once people who have adapted to this Sanatana Dharma principles, and then there was migration to different countries, different places for whatever reason, and they do carry these principles along with them. And when there is a problem or whatever it is, they try to use that knowledge of whatever they had acquired in their previous place based on Sanatana Dharma or in the practical life. So they try to spread those words and give solace to those people in the new location. And that's the reason the things keep spreading. And a new concept may be developed in their own areas to have a faith, to have solutions to their worldly problems. So in that way, the principles of Sanatana Dharma got spread and then got into their scriptures, which they developed for their own local issues.
Okay, good, very good point. But let me extend that, add or modify it slightly. See, if you go by the historical record, I told this in my lecture also in that conference of the Vedic scholars that, if you go back in time, take the Rama period or before Rama. Before Rama, Rama's ancestors. Sharma ji, aapko malum hai, Ayodhya was the capital of the world.
He is there in Ayodhya right now.
Oh. So Ayodhya, the whole world was ruled with Ayodhya as the capital by the Suryavamsha emperors, the ancestors of Rama. So it is stated that this Prithvi, this earth belongs to the Ikshvaku family. So the whole world was under the rule of the Suryavamsha emperors from Ayodhya as the capital. So they implemented Vedic Sanatana Dharma throughout the globe. It's not that only recently people migrated. Even people migrated recently, fine, but even at that time, way back, Treta, early Treta Yuga also, Rama is the end of Treta Yuga. Before Treta Yuga also, there were people who were ruling the whole world from Ayodhya. And that Sanatana Dharma, which was there throughout the globe, which existed actually, got diluted as time passed because the language became corrupted. Sanskrit language became less and less standard and more corrupted and disrupted, turning into other languages. So they lost connectivity with the scriptures. And what more, the Acharyas never went outside India. They were always in India only. So nobody came to revive there. As a result, they lost the scriptural knowledge and they had only some temple worship and that kind of thing. So even in Europe, even in Arabia, even in different parts of the world, during excavations, they have found many temple culture evidences. Shivalingas were found, icons were found, Ganesh was found, and various devatas like Surya, Apollo. Apollo is nothing but sun god. Ra in Egypt is nothing but sun god. So throughout the globe, only temple worship remained minus the scriptures. As a result, they became defenseless when these new religions came, starting with Bible. So they succumbed to it because of the lack of scriptural knowledge, which was sustained in India due to the Acharyas. So India sustained for that reason. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Somebody else wanted to say something?
Ravindra garu.
Gurubhyo Namaha, Gurugaru.
Hmm.
Sir, I try to bit some more points in this one, sir.
Hmm.
It's a dharma is a way of living.
Hmm.
Whatever the religion it may be, the way of living is the common. So that's why the dharma is common in all the religions in one way. But in the micro manner, the dharma is different from organ to some Vritti dharma, Vriksha dharma, Jentu dharma, Manav dharma, Kshatriya dharma. Like that, there are different dharmas. In that way, dharma is not uniform. But if we consider in the way of living, dharma is uniform.
Yeah, you see, I will respond this way. The word dharma has many connotations. So one connotation is duty, like, putra dharma, kshatriya dharma, pitru dharma, matru dharma, or guru dharma. So you discharge your responsibility of your own functionality perfectly. That is one interpretation. Then there are samanya dharmas. What you are talking is samanya dharmas. Samanya dharmas means satya, himsa, brahmacharya. All these are samanya dharmas, which became the part of the law. The law is nothing but implementing dharma. That is why the court bench is called dharmasan. Dharma devata is supposed to be. So the universal common values, ethical values, moral principles, which are minimum requirement for upholding the human civilization and society and life, they are the constituents of law. So to uphold the law, the judiciary is there and police is there and the government is there only to uphold the law and order. Therefore, this common dharmas, you forget about religious scriptures, you go to any country, any court of law, any jurisprudence, you will find the same principles. If you perform theft, you will be punished. If you, of course, in Arabia, if you perform theft, your hands will be cut in Saudi Arabia. It's not like that in India and other countries, but performing theft is a crime. Adultery is a crime. Cheating is a crime. So these are all universal principles. In one way or the other, they are there in all cultures, in all civilizations. This is the main point. And then, of course, the larger picture of dharma is that which sustains through dharanat, that which sustains life, without which you cannot live. those principles are called dharma principles. Okay?
Sir, excuse me, sir, one more doubt, sir, regarding this pranayama.
Yes.
This pranayama, as per yogic principles, inhale and exhale, it should be in one ratio, this is 1:2 or like that. While doing pranayama in Sandhyavandanam or in pujas, the principle is not being practiced. In such way, it will affect the health.
No. In Sandhya Vandanam and in pujas, not much of pranayama is practiced, only brief, if not namesake. So, namesake is no use, at least for 2 minutes or 1 minute. They expect you to, they don't expect you to practice for 20 minutes. So it is not a yoga session. In yoga session, we are having the deep practice of pranayama. See, every subject has its own deep dimension. Like Ayurveda is a big subject, is a deep dimension. But normally Ayurveda means just drink hot water, that kind of thing. So in Sanjavana, in pujas, very fundamental basic pranayama alone is there. Not the entire science of pranayama. It's a vast subject. Okay?
Thank you.
In puja, it is only for having a direction on the sankalpa that we do. And
Yes, sir.
that manner we do this pranayama, not for the health issues.
No, health will be somewhat benefited, but
part.
the main point there is pranam, ayamya, that means control your 5 pranas. When the pranas are controlled, mind is also controlled.
Right,
Because the puja or sanjana you are going, you require concentration of mind.
right.
So if you are gasping or if you are collapsing, then you cannot control it. So you take deep breath so that you are calming down the prana and you are becoming fit enough to concentrate for that puja or sanjana.
Yeah. Even in this class, we start with the meditation for 3 minutes. It is
Yes.
only to have the concentration on the class.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you, sir. And Babu garu, there are no more questions.
Okay. Anybody, I'll stop recording first.